start with payment frequency and amount frequency combination. What is a payment frequency? So payment frequency indicates how frequently the payment will be made. So we have the option to set the payment frequency as bi-monthly if we are making the payment every 2 months. And if we are, for example, if we are making the payment, let's say on January, and the next payment in March, we can use this option. And then we have monthly, if we are making the payment every month, say January, February, March, etc. And we have quarterly, if the payment is made every 3 months, and then semi-annually, if the payment is made twice a year, and annually, if the payment is made once a year. And then if it is one time, that means we will be making a one-time payment for the entire lease. And we have the amount frequency. The amount frequency indicates how frequently the amount is applied. So if you are selecting day, that means the amount in the lease amount field is for a day. Hence, if the period has, for example, let's say 10 days, the total payment will be calculated as amount multiplied by the 10 days. And if we select month, that means the amount set in the field is for 1 month. That is either 30 or 31 days, depending on the calendar chosen. If it is 360 convention, it will be 30. And if it is regular calendar, it might be based on the month that you select. And we have year. That means the amount indicated in the amount lease amount field is for 1 year. So for either 360 or 365 days. And for all this, we consider the number of days. For example, for day, month, and year, we consider the number of days available in the period, except for one time. If we select one time, that means the lease amount will be paid in full, irrespective of the number of days available in the payment period. Do you have any question? Okay. Okay, now we will look at some combinations. If the amount frequency is month and the payment frequency is monthly, this 10,000 is for an entire month. So we will be considering either, since the regular calendar is selected over here, the 10,000 is for 31 days. And also we have the payment in arrears, payment in advance selected. And the ROU start date is from January 2022 to 31 December 2024. That is 36 months. Here we can see the payment is for the 31 days. We calculate the total amount for 365 days first, and then we calculate the amount for 31 days. So this 10,000 multiplied by 12 divided by 365 to get the rate per day, and then it is multiplied by the 31 days. And the second payment is for 28 days, since February have 28 days over here. And so we have the payment calculation as 10,000 into 12 divided by 365 to get the per day amount, and then multiplied by 28 days. Now, if in the same scenario, if the 360 convention is turned on and if the payment is done at the end of the day, payment in arrears, we can see how the schedule will differ. Since the payment is done on the end of the day and the payment date is first, that means the first payment period will have only 1 day. And we get the amount for a day by first getting the amount for a year and then dividing it by 360 and multiplied by 1 to get the per day amount. And from the second payment, we will be having 30 days, hence it will be multiplied by 30 to get 10,000. Now let's see if our amount frequency is year and payment frequency is bi-monthly. That means the amount set is for either for 360 or 365 days based on the calendar chosen, and the payment will be made every 2 months. So each payment period will have the total days of the corresponding 2 months. So here we have 100,000, which is for 365 days since we are using the regular calendar, and payment is done in advance. That is the start of the day. So the first payment period has 31 days plus 28 days. Since the payment is done bi-monthly, so we are considering the 2 months. So combined it is 59 days. So we are dividing the 100,000 by 365 days to get the per day amount, and then we are multiplying that by 59 days. The second payment, we have the amount, for the second payment, we have 31 plus 30 days, that is 61 days. And again, we are taking 100,000 by 365 to get per day and then multiplying that by 61 days. Do anyone have any question?
Yes, I do have a quick question. So this
Yes.
schedule is just for the payment. I'm thinking about the other columns like accruals and depreciation. Are these two parameters, the frequency and the payment, will also have impact on the accruals and depreciation as well, right?
Not the depreciation. Depreciation will take the accrual days.
I guess my question is, are we going to have the same calculation process? I mean, these two parameters will be calculated as well for the accruals, will be also be taken in consideration for the accruals?
For accruals, yes, because we'll be having the payment, the accrual will be based on the payments, right? So yes, it will be considered, but for depreciation, we will be considering the number of days either way. We
But
will be saying
then,
that in the system later on, and I can show it to you.
okay.
Yeah. So, any other question?
Just one from my side.
Yeah.
I mean, in this example, I see that amount frequency is month and payment frequency is monthly.
Uh,
So
Sorry,
this
it's
is
bi-monthly. Yeah, it's a mistake. It's supposed to be bi-monthly. Sorry about that.
no problem, no problem. Just to be sure.
Yeah, this is supposed to be my bi-monthly.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. So again, if in the same scenario, if we are selecting the 360 convention and the payment in arrears, then again we'll have 1 day for the first payment period, and we will be calculating the per day amount by dividing 100,000 divided by 360 and multiplied by 1. So this is the per day amount, and then for the second period we'll be calculating from February 30 days and March 30 days since the 360 convention is on, and we'll be calculating the amount for 60 days. Now we have the third combination, that is if our amount frequency is day and payment frequency is semi-annually. This means that the amount over here is for 1 day and the payment is made every 6 months. So if we have a regular calendar and the payment is done in advance, that is start of the day, the payment amount will be calculated for the number of days that is specified, that is available in that specific payment period. So Here, so the payment starts from first and we consider all the 6 months. So 31 plus 28 plus 31, 30, 31. So the amount, the number of days are 181. So, and the payment is 100 into the 181 days. And the second period, the payment is for 31 plus 30, 30, and the total will be 184 days. And the payment is for 184 days, 100 into 184. Again, if in the same scenario, if the 360 convention is on and if the payment in arrears is checked, and since the payment is made at the end of the first day, then we consider the payment period with the first payment period will have just 1 day, so 100 into 1. And then the second payment period will take into account the sum of days from February to July. So the total will be 180 days and the amount will be 100 into 180 days. Now we have another combination. If amount frequency is one time and the payment frequency is quarterly, that means the amount indicated over here will be paid in full every 3 months, irrespective of the number of days available in that quarter. If you're using regular calendar and if it is payment in advance, or if we have 360 convention on, or if the payment is in arrears, we'll have a similar schedule. So the first option, we have 31 days, but still we are not considering it, considering the number of days, and hence the payment will be 10,000 every 3 months. Similarly, if even if the 360 convention is on and the payment is in arrears, since it is one time, the payment will be 10,000, that is in full every 3 months. Now we have another one. If the amount frequency is one time and the payment frequency is also one time, here we have $10,000 and the payment period is from January 2023 to 31 December 2025. But since the payment frequency is one time, that means for the entire lease, we are making only one time payment. So if you check here, we have a lease from 2023 to 2025 and the payment we have only one payment. And now we have some recommendation here for using the advance and arrears, the checkbox. So if the payment is made at the end of every month, then it is recommended to check the payment in arrears box so that the particular date is included for the payment and interest calculation. And if the payment date is start of the month, then we can use the payment in advance. So we uncheck the payment in arrears box. Do you have any question?